Hello Lords, I'm going to show you where you should spend your development points first. If this video helps you, please like it, leave a silly comment for the algorithm, and don't subscribe to me. Okay, so you only got a few options here, and I think some of them are non-viable and you shouldn't even really do them in the beginning. Now, the first one is the apple orchard, which I kind of like. Alright, they give a good amount of extra food. They say they take 3 years to start, but it's not a super big deal to wait that long. And they also get you into rye and other things like that, irrigation, which kind of helps prevent your crops from dying from drought, which is okay. Not that's necessarily the first one I'd pick. Now, this one, the heavy plow, is interesting, not because of the plow, I don't really care about that, is that the fertilization is nice for whenever you allow you to use fallow fields as a pasture, which really increases the fertility quickly, which is kind of nice. And then you have bakeries extension, which is kind of nice too. So this one, the foreign supplies, I'm not super keen on. It's up to you. I do kind of like the food cart to get bread all the time, but this costs money. And early game, I don't know if that's something you need. Same with trade logistics. It's nice to pay little amounts for the trade routes, but I don't think that's a super big deal since it's not that hard to get money. I also wouldn't pick the basic armor making. You don't need that till later in the game. Coal burning is something that I think I would have picked instead of the trapping, which I did. I think coal burning is probably going to be my first one most of the time because it reduces the amount of firewood you need in half by turning into charcoal, though keep in mind you need people working there. But then that leads to deep mining, which I think is more important because you always start with at least one rich item or spot in your map. So it's nice if you have an iron mine, you can get lots of iron out of it constantly and sell it and get lots of money. So this would be one of the ones I'd pick for sure. Then you get beekeeping, which gives you honey. I think that's okay. Doesn't provide that much food, but it gives you just extra options for food. But again, that's somebody that has to work there. I also don't mind the berry deposits, which just doubles the capacity of berry deposits. So you can really have lots of berries. I think that's good. The trapping is okay. It says you get passive meat, so that means you just get meat all the time from your hunters working there, even if they're not getting the actual deer. I think they're probably just trapping bunnies and stuff. But I haven't really noticed that much of an increase in my meat, and it doesn't show you, so I'm not really a big fan of it. Though I like this one, which doubles the amount of meat harvested by the hunters, which is useful, and including the hides as well. Hides isn't as useful because getting hides isn't hard. All right, then you got the advanced beekeeping for wax, which I don't think is a big deal. And then you got the sheep breeding, which I think is good, but not as your first choice. You're going to need it later on when you finally get some sheep. It is one of them, like maybe the first three I would pick is probably sheep breeding as well. Okay, so again, I think charcoal burning is probably the best one with the deep mining. And then apple orchard, then probably sheep breeding is probably my next favorite. And then maybe the berry deposit. If this video helped you, please like it, leave a silly comment for the algorithm, and don't subscribe to me.